Stay tuned for Real Monsters, followed by Legends of the Hidden Temple, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's The Adventures of Paddington, followed by Inside Job. Stay tuned for Alan Gregory, followed by Freak Show, only on Nickelodeon. Alvin and the Chipmunks is next, followed by Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, followed by Reading Rainbow, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's American Dad. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Angry Beavers, followed by Clarence. Next on Nick, it's The Angry Beavers, followed by Vinland Saga. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Between the Lions, followed by Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Bewitched, followed by Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. In a moment, you will be watching Big Mouth, and then after that mess, it's Doug, only on Nickelodeon. Black Dynamite is next, followed by The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, only on Nickelodeon. Blue Lock is next, followed by Danny Phantom, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for BoJack Horseman, followed by The Wubbulous World of Dr. Seuss, only on Nick. In a moment, you will be watching The Boondocks, followed by Young Sheldon, only on Nick. Stay tuned for Bubble Guppies, followed by The Regular Show, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Bunnicula, followed by Get the Picture, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's The Cleveland Show, followed by Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Code Red, followed by Digby Dragon, only on Nick. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Critic, followed by Welcome Freshmen. Stay tuned for Demon Slayer, followed by Del Toro Quest, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Dennis and Asher, followed by Legends of the Hidden Temple. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Doc McStuffins. Coming up, it's Doc McStuffins, followed by Penny the Shark, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's The Electric Company, followed by The Adventures of Tintin, only on Nick. Next on Nick, it's Family Double Dare, followed by Blues Room. Stay tuned for 15, followed by The Casa Grandes, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you will be watching Happy Tree Friends, followed by The Mindy Project, only on Nick. Stay tuned for Happy Tree Friends, followed by Rabbids Invasion, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you will be watching Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, followed by Over the Garden Wall, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Hey Arnold, followed by Tekken. Next, it's Hey Dude, followed by Postman Pat, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Inside Job, followed by Master of None. Stay tuned for In the Night Garden, followed by Land of the Lost, only on Nick. Stay tuned for Kid President, followed by 100 Things to Do Before High School, only on Nick. In a moment, you will be watching Lab Rats, followed by Alan Gregory, only on Nick. Next up, it's Lala Oopsies, followed by Royal Crackers, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Lil Bush, followed by Welcome Freshman, only on Nick. Stay tuned for Madeline, followed by Kablam, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, followed by Tika Bella, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Marioku Yummy, followed by Wienerville. Stay tuned for Mega Man Fully Charged, followed by Dennis the Menace, only on Nick. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Milo Murphy's Law, followed by Resident Evil. Minority is next, followed by Mr. Bean, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Minority, followed by Wild and Crazy Miners, I mean kids. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's My Babysitter's a Vampire. Next on Nick, it's My Gym Partner's a Monkey, followed by American Dad. In a moment, you'll be watching Nathan For You, followed by Kung Fu Panda, only on Nick. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Nick Arcade, followed by Space Cases. Coming up, it's Nick in the Afternoon, and a few hours later, it's Attack on Titan, only on Nick. Coming up, it's Octonauts, followed by The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, only on Nick. The Odd Couple is next, followed by Camp Camp, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Over the Garden Wall, followed by Sonic Boom. Stay tuned for Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, followed by Rel, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Paper Puppets, followed by 2.5 Men, only on Nick. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Paradise PD, followed by Adventure Time. In a moment, you'll be watching The Partridge Family, followed by Burchester Hotel, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Peep in the Big Wide World, followed by All That, only on Nick. Next up, it's Pet Alien, followed by Family Game Night, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away, coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Planet She. Do not stay tuned for the Problem Solvers. Watch Octonauts instead, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Puppy Dog Pals, followed by Pet Alien, only on Nick. Next on Nick, it's Raising Hope, followed by Figure It Out. Stay tuned for the regular show, followed by Pinwheel, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Ricky Zoo. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Rocko's Modern Life. Stay tuned for Rocko's Modern Life, followed by the Angry Beavers, only on Nick. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Rusty Rivets, followed by Dennis the Menace. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Ruby, followed by Franklin, one of the turtles you'll see every day. Coming up, it's Sheriff Callie's Wild West, followed by Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, only on Nick. Next on Nickelodeon, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by The Wonder Years. Stay tuned for Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures, followed by Tyna, only on Nick. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Think Fast, followed by Are You Afraid of the Dark? Stay tuned for The Thundermans, followed by Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures, only on Nick. Coming up, it's Timothy Goes to School, followed by Tots, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's True Calling, followed by The Monsters. Stay tuned for the Twisted Whiskers Show, followed by The Devil's a Part-Timer, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Undergrads, followed by Code Red, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Welcome Freshmen, followed by The Chicken Squad. Next up, it's Welcome Freshmen, followed by Demon Slayer, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Who's the Boss? Followed by The Koala Brothers, only on Nickelodeon. Yo Gabba Gabba is next, followed by Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, only on Nickelodeon.